Who were the other people that you remember when you were learning that were big?
Magnanti Biviano, Joe Biviano, used to live in Jersey City. He's the brother-in-law. He married his sister. They're all gone now. They're all dead.
They're old.
I'm the only one of the top form. This picture here that you see here.
That one?
Yeah. I'm the one on the right-hand corner there. And next to me is Forzini, this fellow here.
Uh-huh.
He was my final teacher.
Pietro Forzini.
Yeah, and he used to live in Long Island.
And who's the other people?
All well known.
Oh, I know.
There's Pietro Darrow there in the middle there with his hand by his chin.
Mm-hmm. This Gallerini?
Yeah, that's it. That's Pietro Darrow. Gallerini was not there because he didn't belong to this organization, the American Acoordionists Association. We formed that in the 30s.
Yeah.
We formed that. I was one of the vice presidents, Pietro Darrow, the old man of the accordion, this here.
Yeah. That's it.
Pietro, yeah,
that's it.
this is Forzini here,
Mm-hmm.
and me, and a few others. Here's Joe Biviano.
Yep.
Yeah, and a couple others that I don't remember their names anymore. So many years went through, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the story. And we played at the World's Fair with my accordion band. You could see in this picture here, I'm conducting.
Right here.
Yeah, New York World's Fair. 1939. Yeah. And that's one of the accordions that my teacher, Umbriaco, ordered in Italy. That was made for me. That was 43 keys from F to B.
Big keyboard.
Most accordions are from F to A. See? That had 43 keys in those days. Yeah. And this is a picture here when I went to Italy in 1937 to represent the Soprani company.
Mm-hmm.
They were the biggest factory in Italy. They had 800 people working.
Wow.
Yeah. Today they're all gone.
They still make accordions in Italy, right?
Yeah, but
not like the...
I spoke to the fellow that makes the accordions now, a fellow by the name of Tombolini. He says 7 factories have gone out of business.
Wow.
In the last month. So conditions are, you know, you can't make a living anymore.
So that means that not just America, but the popularity of accordions all over the world is not as much.
Well, it's well known in certain countries. Italy in those days, there was nobody playing the accordion. Now there's a few.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few that play all over the country. I've been in Italy. The last time I was in Italy is 4 years ago.
You've traveled a lot.
Yeah, I used to do, every year I used to go to Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been all over the country. Different countries.
So when you were learning accordion, most of the music was classical, or was it popular or ethnic, like Italian, or was it Bach, Beethoven?
All popular. I mean, classics.
All classical.
Classics. And you don't play any popular songs. See, you gotta play all the long hair stuff. You know?
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So that went on for quite some years. I played in all the theaters in Newark, the Proctors, the Hill Theater, and then there's the Burlesque House Theater on Washington Avenue.
That seems like that's where accordions really started to come about in America, in burlesque.
Yeah.
It was like a little sideshow or something? Is that what it was?
Well,
or it was one of the acts?
It's... When I was playing, there were hardly any teachers.
Mm-hmm.
My father taught me what he knew, you know, but he was not a professional man. So that's why I went to New York.
So when you started working and going out and playing, was it mainly burlesque type when you first started? Was it burlesque shows, or where did you play?
Now, in the theaters, they used to have amateur nights.
Okay.
And you had to compete with the fellas that sang or the one that played an instrument, you know.
Did they give you a prize for winning?
$5.
Everybody, or just top prize?
The winner.
The winner.
And I used to win always first prize. Because I used to play, you know, heavy stuff. Rigoletto, Trovatore.
Yeah.
And the people in the audience, you know, the old timers, they would hiss, you know, they want everybody to be quiet, not to talk.
Were you nervous when you played, or it was natural?
Oh yeah, you're always nervous.
Yeah.
I'm still the same way.
Yeah. After
when
all these
when
years.
I play, I can't relax.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the accordion was something that fit in a lot with the big bands, and it was always more by
Well,
itself.
there weren't enough professional players. You see, you have to be a good musician, you know, to play with a big band. They give you music. There was no music arranged for the accordion.
That's true.
I had to play out of violin music, which is just a melody.
Mm-hmm.
I had to make up my own chords.
Okay.
That's the problem. That went on for 20 years. By the time, you know, things started to get moving.
Then when did you start seeing more accordion music being written? Was it after you formed the AAA, or was it before?
After the AAA, yeah. Pietro Darrow was starting to publish his own music.
Mm-hmm.
In those days, Pagani, Ottavio Pagani on Bleecker Street. That's just a couple of blocks away from Pietro Darrow on Greenwich Avenue.
So these people were all close.
Yeah, well, everything's
one.
close, yeah. And then a lot of publishers, then I was making arrangements. I got about 300 numbers that I arranged for the accordion. You see, the publishers would all get in touch with me. I did work for about 12 different publishers in New York City.
That's how you, okay.
Robbins, Witt, Marks, Harms, Sam Fox.
Yeah.
They were all out of business. All the Foxes died in the family. Everybody was gone.
Well, there's still one around, right?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Yeah, there's one, because I saw him not too long ago.
There's one fella that used to be with Alfred Music. They did a lot of my publishing. They just moved out to California. And they're not in the accordion business anymore.
So they'd come to you with sheet music, and then they say, can you arrange it for the accordion?
Right.
What instrument did they give you the music in? Was it piano? What was it for? They gave it to you in violin, piano. What was it arranged for originally that you got it when you received it?
Yeah, violin music or piano.
Or piano.
From piano, I had to reduce everything for the accordion. So I got about 300 arrangements that I made.
Wow.
All different, from the classics right down even popular songs.
And then you also have originals. You wrote.
I have a lot of original, about 25 to 30 numbers, original solos. Yeah.
Wow. So you did at least 300 arrangements and another 30 original compositions.
Yeah. I also used to make band arrangements.
Oh. So you wrote for the other instruments as well?
Four parts, you know.
Accordion band or?
Yeah, accordion band, yeah. Well, a regular dance band,
Yeah.
I would make those arrangements for different instruments, violin, saxophone, trumpet, trombone, and so forth.
What's your favorite composition that you ever wrote?
My best number is I got a paso doble, I got tangos,
Mm-hmm.
all different numbers. Yeah.
Is there any kind of any particular type of accordion music that you like more than others? Like when you started to say tango, I know there's classic, there's rumbas. I mean, there's all different types. There's ethnic. Do you have a preference for any?
Well, I like the classics.
Okay.
I made a fine arrangement on William Tell Overture.
Oh.
You know, that's a tough number to play. You got to have good technique. Flight of the Bumblebee
Uh-huh.
and Malaguena. I made an arrangement of that. In those days, when I was teaching for Pietro Darrow in New York, Dizzy Fingers.
Mm-hmm.
I went there with a friend of mine one Sunday morning to visit Pietro Darrow and meet him. And I played Dizzy Fingers for him. A week later, he called up. He says, "You want to teach?" I says, "I'd be happy." So I was going to New York 3 days a week. I used to teach in New York.
Is that how you started teaching?
Yeah,
That's okay.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just one day you just started. You said I want to teach. It came through like that. And you were teaching with who? Who was that? Petrov?
Darrow.
Pierre Dara.
Yeah, I taught for him. Then I had my own studio up in Carnegie Hall. I played at the town hall in Carnegie Hall.
Wow.
It's a long,
Everyone wants to play at Carnegie Hall.
yeah.
So you did. You played there once or more than once?
Oh, more than once.
Really?
Oh, sure.
With an orchestra or by yourself?
Alone.
Alone.
But I played also there with orchestras.
I know accordion learning any instrument takes a lot of hard work.
Yeah,
But the accordion is popular.
yeah.
And do you think that's more? What's the reason?
Well, when the Beatles came in this country,
Yeah.
that was in the 60s, that killed everything. Yeah, that killed, singing and playing the music that had no value whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
But they were popular, so they got up on top.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to do 35 shows a week in New York. I used to go to New York 3 and 4 times a day to play different programs.
Was that live performances or was that radio?
Live, radio.
Oh, was it mainly radio?
I used to play for Frazzini. He used to be sick every 2 weeks. He had trouble with his stomach, or his entire blood system
Yeah.
was all wrecked. And he'd be sick. I'd be playing Gamble, John.
Yeah.
6:30 in the morning. I would be driving over to New York, park my car right in front of 1440 there, Broadway, and nobody would touch it.
Wow.
See? Played with one band one night, we had 40 musicians,
That's big.
3 accordion players. John Gart was one of them. I forgot the others. And myself. So I got accordions, almost every make of accordion you could think of.
Do you have a gola?
No.
Is a gola one that's still considered one of the best?
Well, you see, Joseph Gola died many years ago. He used to be with Hohner, and he used to advertise Hohner. And they had handmade reeds, and they made it the Italian style, and got very popular. The Gola name was very popular with everybody.
Yeah, because it has a
Yeah,
reputation of being one of the best.
right.
You've played a
Right.
gola?
Yeah.
Would you consider
Oh,
it
yeah.
very good?
I played them all. Yeah, I had Excelsiors, I had Wurlitzer.
Would you consider Nunzio the Nunziola one of the best?
I think it's one of the best accordions, yes.
Here's a good question. What makes a good accordion? A very good accordion.
Well, the construction of the instrument is the touch, your keyboard, and your bass. And then you got to have handmade reeds. Reeds that do not take too much air when you play. You see, a machine-made accordion, when you play it, you'll be playing twice or maybe more as hard to get your notes out than a good instrument. Handmade reeds are very scarce. Today everything is by machine. They call it handmade when they tune them. See?
That's not handmade though, right? When they tune them, is it?
Well, the press punches out the reed.
Mm-hmm. This is handmade?
No,
No.
it's pressed
Mm-hmm.
by machine and then they tune it. And they
Okay.
call it handmade, but it's not handmade. 99% of all the reeds on accordions today are machine. They just fitted by a tuner or somebody that does repairs like I'm doing. You've heard of an accordion with a chamber?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a chamber accordion.
Okay.
It's one of the best that Excelsior used to make. See? That when they were in New York, they didn't make chamber accordions. The chamber instrument came out later on.
I like the sound of a chamber. It
Oh,
helps
sure.
mellows.
I love it.
You like that?
I have what I'm going to play on November 7th is my own accordion, 2 reeds.
That's it?
Yeah,
Two in a chamber or just a 2 reed in?
2 reeds all in the chamber.
Oh. That's all. It's
Yeah,
not a
the
4
bassoon,
reed?
the bassoon reed and the violin reed.
That's different.
A low and a high.
Are there 2 reeds outside?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a 4 reed accordion.
Yeah, it's 2 and 2.
Tune.
And 4 reeds on the bass.
Okay.
The normal accordion is 4 sets and 5 on the bass. 4 and 5 they call it, see? But mine is 2 and 4. See? Why I have it is it's light. You don't have to, work hard with it.
And that's a Nunziola?
Yeah. See, I can make a reed exactly like this here.
You can make the whole reed? From just plain flat metal?
Yeah.
You must have all the equipment here somewhere.
Yeah. I have a lot of steel, Yeah. See, the fellas like to play hard. What they do is, when this reed was made, the concussion of the machine made the reed break in the back.
Okay. Why do you have so many accordions? You like to collect them, or do you just like to play
I
them?
wish I knew why. You see, what happens is, I used to sell a lot of new accordions. When you sell one instrument, you get 3 in trade. And that's all trade-ins that bought a good instrument and they trade. I got Honers, I got Galitzis, I got Pancaris, Sonola, you name them. I got 20 different brands.
Which accordions have you bought that you wanted?
Oh, well, I have a few left.
That you really
My
bought for
Nunziola.
yourself.
Yeah, my Nunziola. Oh, Cintioli. Cintioli used to be a reed maker in Italy. And I did a lot of business with him. He and his 3 brothers, they used to make accordions. International.
You have international? Have to look at
Yeah.
that too.
They used to be in Detroit.
Was there much competition between accordion players? You know,
Well,
someone trying to always be the best, trying to top someone else. You know, with this competition, I think in a lot, but
no,
you never
no,
saw much.
No, no.
There was enough work to go around.
Yeah, everybody's had their own connections. That's what we used to call them, connections.
Okay.
Yeah. And like Frazzini would be sick. So his wife would call me 5 o'clock in the morning. Charlie, please help Fraz. She used to call him Fraz.
Mm-hmm.
He's sick. Do the program. So I used to get up, drive into New York, and play. We used to play 6:30 to 8 o'clock on WOR. Vincent Sorby, violin player. We had violin, piano, saxophone, and accordion.
Was it mainly improv, or you played off of sheets?
They
Or
give
imp-
me violin music. Sometimes I get clarinet music. They didn't have the sheets, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But from there, you know, you make up your own arrangement
Wow.
from playing. You know right away. You know, you play certain tunes. You know what chord you got to put in there, and it would harmonize with the piano player.
Yeah. Actually, let me go back to a couple of questions about the Nunziola. When did you first get the idea for your own accordion?
Oh,
And what did you put in it that made it special?
well, I had a company that I was half owner, 50% owner. I had the Bell accordion.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. You're part owner of that.
Yeah, yeah. I own 50%.
Bell is so big. It's a big
Yeah.
name. It's a good name.
Yeah. And I sold my share to CMI. CMI, Chicago Musical Instrument Company in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
They liked what we had, the Bell instrument, and they bought it.
And then you took your half, and then you started
Yeah.
your own
They
company.
paid me, yeah.
Like, how did you have it made that it was one of the best?
Well, it was perfect intonation, the tuning. We used to go for dry tuning. Now, I've been getting a lot of calls for, they want musette tuning, you know, they want the reed that goes, yeah, 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 you know, like that.
Yeah. Some songs, musettes are very good for.
Yeah.
Some pieces, dry, concert style is more appropriate.
Yeah, the Polish people like an accordion, like that's loud. You know, you play, make a lot of noise. I like a dry tuned accordion.
So all of your accordions only had handmade reeds, or these all have only handmade?
Oh yeah, they all have good handmade reeds.
The AAA,
Yeah,
why did it ever start?
we had a problem 50 years ago about the notation, how to write for the accordion. You see, in the old days, Pietro Darrow had 2 treble clefs, right hand and left hand. Everything was written in treble.